is Fields Auto Group Cubs Pregame Live.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day at Wrigley Field on our great city's north side. The Cubs and the Atlanta Braves open up a weekend series right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And welcome in to our Cubs pregame live, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. I'm David Kaplan. It's been a good week for the Chicago Cubs. Yesterday, getting approval for the renovations to finally begin on Wrigley Field. Also learning they've got a couple of all-stars in Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo winning the final vote in the National League. So things going well there. Arismendi Alcantara comes up from the minor leagues and has a 4-hit day yesterday. So things looking up. Let's have more on the two All-Stars for the Cubs. Here's our Kelly Crow.
Yeah, 8.8 million votes, Cap. That's what it took to send Anthony Rizzo to his first All-Star game, and he was just beaming this morning as the group of reporters surrounded him, congratulated him. It was a big campaign for him, of course, not only on Twitter, but 3 home runs in as many days, and the last day of voting would have been yesterday in Cincinnati, and he joked this morning saying, I haven't really had a home run in that game, so I figured I got to collect some votes somehow. What better way than a little ruckus with Chapman, right? No, jokes aside, he said he was just, of course, standing up for teammates when it comes to that, but he is thrilled to be headed to Minneapolis for the Midsummer Classic later this week.
It's incredible. Walked over to the offices, thanked all the front office and people that were working behind the scenes to pump it up and to promote it, and just very, very appreciative. You know, my family's ecstatic. We've come a long way all together. You know, me, myself, everyone else around me that's coached me, that's helped me out through, you know, good times and bad times. So it's an accomplishment that I'll cherish forever. I've thanked everyone for the most part, who's texted me or tried to, because without them helping, who knows what would have happened. Every vote counted, and it's crazy. You know, the last week has been crazy for everyone.
Rizzo, of course, will be joining Starlin Castro in the Twin Cities as the Cubs shortstop makes his 3rd All-Star appearance. At 24, the pair become just the 3rd duo of Cubs All-Stars at that age or younger to head to the All-Star game in the same season. The production of each of these young stars have turned in this season. It's just night and day from where they were a year ago, and Starlin says, you know what, this is what we expect from ourselves.
Oh, it's mean a lot. It's mean a lot. It's mean like we can get it. You know, we can get here and we can play like that every year, and we can help the team for winning. We can be in playoff. We can be a World Series, something like that, and that's what we're looking for. You know, especially this team that had a long time not winning. But I think with me and him, we put a team together and we'll be good.
Renteria, following the game yesterday, actually pulled all the guys in for a team meeting and played it off like it was any other meeting until the very end. And he said, oh yeah, Rizzo, you're headed to the All-Star game. And apparently the guys went nuts. They were all pouring water on him. Certainly a very special moment, Cap, and a highlight in his young career.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. I'm joined now by the Vice President for Communications and Community Affairs for the Cubs, Julian Green. Okay, while the team may not be going to a World Series this year, yesterday was a really good day. Arismendi Alcantara comes up, 4-hit day. Cubs beat the Reds, and maybe most importantly at this point, you guys win yesterday with the Landmarks Commission unanimously to finally get your renovation project started.
Yeah, this is a great day. I've been here this is my 3rd season, and I think this ranks at the top. It was a great day yesterday when we got that win with the Landmarks Commission yesterday, and we're very happy about it. Hats off to Mayor Emanuel and the Landmarks Commission and everyone who worked on it, especially the team back in the front office. We had a lot of people working on this deal for the last 2 years, maybe even 4 years for some folks who preceded me, but this is a great win for the organization, because now this means we're moving forward with our project.
You know, you made a comment on the radio earlier today, and I talked to you about it. You said, look, we're building McCary Wood Field. We've built parks. We're giving $1 million to another charity group. You are good neighbors, and you want that perception to change sometimes from people that say maybe the Cubs haven't done enough. You've done a lot.
Right. We know everybody's not going to be happy, but our track record stands for itself. Even last year when we got this planned development approved, we put 30 additional security security officers in the streets. We provided 1,000 free parking spaces, which is unheard of in professional sports. By the way, that cost us about $500,000. Okay, we're one of the largest contributors to the Chicago Park District. We've given $2.1 million over the last 4 years since Ricketts family ownership. We are doing what's needed to be done in the community. If we're going to be called the Lakeview Cubs, then maybe you can make an argument that we haven't done enough. But we're the Chicago Cubs, we're one team, we're one city, and our contributions go far and wide.
When do you see shovels finally hitting the ground? Because people have heard, yeah, this got approved or that got approved. A year ago they heard approval. This seems to be a defining watershed moment.
It is. I mean, in the next couple weeks, you could see us start demolishing the Brown lot, where we're going to add 100 new parking spaces for Cubs fans and for guests of the new Sheraton Hotel. Closer to the end of the season, we'll probably start work on the red lot and the purple lot, which will be the site of the new plaza. But as you know, we're going to be digging this massive underground hole to lay the foundation for sub-basements that will be the eventual clubhouse as well as Levy commissary space. So there's going to be work to be done. It might not be that sexy in the first few months, but when this season ends and we start to move out these walls here on Sheffield and Waveland, you're going to start to see some work. And by 2015 opening, the 2015 opening day, this bleacher expansion will be completed and fans will be able to see real, tangible results.
When do you anticipate seeing the new clubhouse for your players?
At this point, 2016, opening day 2016. It's going to take some work, obviously, with the clubhouse and the facilities, as well as the bullpens. But we're going to start with the bleacher expansion first to get that started.
And the new clubhouse will be the second biggest in baseball, behind only the New York Yankees, correct?
30,000 square feet, give or take a few feet, but it's going to be one of the best. I mean, we learned a lot when we opened that great facility down in Mesa, as you know, Cap. It's great. The players responded well to it. The fans responded well. So this year that we took, it wasn't like we weren't doing anything. Our guys back in the front office were taking their pencils and doing engineering studies and saying, hey, look, we can build something bigger, better, and badder, and that's what's going to happen opening day 2016 when these players walk into their new clubhouse.
What will fans see with the bleacher expansion when you redo these bleachers?
New group spaces, group terraces, open spaces, new seating. It's going to be great. New concessions. This is going to be a really great project. Now, fans shouldn't worry. I know everyone's worried that we're going to be doing something harmful to the bleachers, but we're going to be putting this together for the fans so that they can have a great place to watch baseball while at the same time respecting the heritage and tradition of this great ballpark, which includes that great scoreboard above us that's been here since the beginning of the time with Wrigley Field. And we're going to make sure that we do this respectfully, tastefully, and get it done for the fans.
So what you're saying is we're not going to see, you know, some of the things we see in some of the other ballparks with different type of gimmicks. Wrigley will stay traditional, but it will also be modernized, which it so desperately needs.
Absolutely. Ballparks have signs.
Right.
That's the important thing people should know. We will be adding additional outfield signs, but it's about trying to generate the revenue that's needed to put back onto the field, put back into this organization so that we can build this fabulous ballpark up better for our fans. And so we got to try to innovate and grow as fast as we can to beat 29 other ball clubs that are trying to win a World Series trophy every year. So those signs, as well as this revised bleacher expansion, is an important parcel to that to this project.
Some of the people who have been critical, and there were people yesterday at the meeting from this community that stepped up and said, get it done. There was a lady there. She said, it's time. Let's go. Let's get it moving. People that have been critical, sometimes they don't realize that every other team in your division plays in a ballpark no older than the year 2000.
That's right. I mean, when you look at the clubs all around the league, just about everyone has a brand new ballpark, with Fenway finishing their renovation in 2012, I believe. It's time to get this ballpark moving. We need to save Wrigley Field for the next 100 years so that our children and our children's children can come enjoy this ballpark. But most important, that we're generating the resources to win, to give to Theo and Jed and the rest of the baseball operations department so that we can kick some butt out here on this field.
How much, in terms of people who have been to Fenway, I've been to Fenway, you've been to Fenway, people that have been there, will this look something like it? Fenway it's still old Fenway, but it's a modern Fenway, and there's signage.
Less signage than Fenway, as a matter of fact, but I think Fenway was done tastefully. in respect of what the ballpark, the green monster that everyone loves. They did a great job. And in fact, we have architects that worked on the Fenway project here, also that worked on the Rose Bowl as well as Notre Dame Stadium. So we think we have the best of the best in terms of a design and build team that's ready to go out and make sure that Wrigley Field is looking its best beyond its 100th birthday and through the annals of time.
Before I let you go, I've talked to many outfielders that have played here, and they all say, let me tell you, dude, it's an adventure to try and catch a fly ball at night. You're adding 2 light towers, 1 on each corner. How important is that to this project?
We're one of the probably the most poorly lit stadiums in baseball, and we've heard from our players saying when they're trying to focus on that ball, it's difficult. So we're adding these 2 light towers so that we can improve the lighting on the field in addition to the other improvements that we're going to be making. Again, this is a great project for the players, for the fans, for our partners, and yes, for our neighbors, because we're going to be protecting 7,000 jobs, enhancing the $600 million of economic revenue that's generated every year by this ballpark, and creating more jobs and delivering about $50 million of new tax revenue to Chicago, the county, as well as the state of Illinois. So everyone wins here, and we're going to work to make sure that we continue to build this ballpark, this sacred ballpark, into a winner.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There he is, Julian Green, Vice President of Community Affairs and Communications for the Chicago Cubs. We'll come back and continue previewing Cubs and Braves, teeing it up. Getting ready here, Alex Wood against Jake Arrieta. 23 minutes to first pitch. That means time to order a Papa John's and get ready for a Cub victory. Be right back.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
Welcome to the new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Glenview.
It's our summer clearance event, and it's time for you to make your move to this incredible facility.
You want to go there. It's a fun thing to do. It's warm and it's welcoming and it's not intimidating and it's nice.
Our new home is designed to deliver a superior level of customer service.
Plus, every new vehicle has a special celebration price during our summer clearance event.
See Fields first, the all-new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
You know, at Domino's, failure is an option. We know that not everything is gonna work.
In order to get better, in order to move ahead, you're gonna make mistakes.
Have you ever heard of the cookie pizza?
I don't want to talk about it.
If we gave up after every mistake, we wouldn't come up with something new like our specialty chicken. We take our boneless white meat chicken and bake our toppings, sauces, and cheese right on top.
Order 2 of our new specialty chicken or medium 2-topping pizzas for only $5.99 each.
We cannot be afraid to fail. It sounds crazy, but it's who we are.
Unbelievable.
This is awesome.
Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it!
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this? What if I just,
No.
Oh.
Come on,
No, don't do that. Sorry.
He's really in there.
That's slime dripping off?
It is.
Yep. That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Xfinity presents.
Canelo Alvarez is on a mission. Defeat anyone, anywhere, anytime. On July 12th, his quest brings him face-to-face with the most dangerous man in the division in a showdown for honor and glory.
And they are exchanging leather in the center of the ring.
Canelo Alvarez, Eris Landy Lara.
Order now with your remote on Xfinity from Comcast.
This is Mia's new Honda CR-V. The same car that will let the world know that she loves rock and roll. With the Econ button that will help her save a little gas when she sees that same barn house the second time.
Hey, Dad,
and the Bluetooth that will assure her she can always move back home and pay rent.
Okay, Dad.
Start something special now with the CR-V. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Beautiful weather. Cubs and Braves start a weekend series. Cubs have 2 All-Stars in their lineup. Shortstop Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo coming off a very good series against the Cincinnati Reds. Cubs won the finale of that series yesterday. All right, as I said, Cubs have 2 All-Stars. Shortstop Starlin Castro, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Cubs manager Ricky Renteria met the media this morning and talked about how nice it is to have these 2 kids in his lineup.
It was pretty good, pretty exciting. We told them that we were proud of all those guys for that game yesterday, and then we went right into letting them know that Riz had been voted in, and everybody kind of broke into a tremendously loud cheer and started congratulating him. It's pretty cool.
Not just with the incident on the field, but the comeback and the victory. It showed that there's some spirit on this club yet, despite the losing streak.
Well, I think yesterday it's challenging because you're playing in a good division. You're playing against clubs that are competing, good clubs, and I thought they showed their heart. You get taunted a little bit, and the guys stood up for themselves, and we're very proud of that. And I think they kept battling and ended up coming out on top. So there's a lot of things to be thankful for.
Ricky, does a day or a week like this go a long way for these young guys to become the leaders of this team? Not because they're necessarily the best players, but because they have that ability?
Yeah, well, because they have the ability, and I think, yesterday, quite frankly, I thought Anthony standing up, quite frankly, in that moment yesterday during the ball game, showed that he's got a little bit of the heart and what it takes to do what needs to be a leader. And I think everybody kind of gravitated to it, and they're growing up. They're growing up.
Did you get a sense that there was any kind of letdown with the team, or was it just coincidental? Were they connected at all?
That's a good question. I'll be honest with you. I think it's coincidental. We didn't hit with runners in scoring position as well as we should have. We had some, we had a couple of games where we weren't able to hold it, and I don't think it had anything to do with the change. I think once they get on the field, it's very difficult to think about that while you're playing the game of baseball. I think it might be something on the periphery, away from the field, that maybe they thought about that. I got no sense that was part of what precipitated that little streak, that little bump in the road.
That said, are there challenges for you and for them to keep things up and on an even keel after the trade going into the second half of the season?
Well, again, I don't think we're thinking about the trade anymore. We're just thinking about playing baseball. And I think yesterday actually was a good thing for us because you see that the game's going to continue, and change inevitably occurs. We can't control certain things. Some things we can, and the things that we can, we try to. I think in terms of the emotions and the ability to go out and play every single day, there's enough to worry about in your opponents and how you're going to play the game than to worry about things that you can't really control.
All right, Cubs manager Ricky Renteria talking with the media today. Let's look at the Cubs lineup against Alex Wood, who will pitch for the Atlanta Braves. They'll lead it off with their young second baseman, Arismendi Alcantara, 4-hit day yesterday. Ruggiano, Rizzo, Castro, Castillo, Lake, Coughlin, Holt, and the pitcher rolling along so far, Jake Arrieta. Let's welcome in my partner, Todd Hollandsworth. All right, I don't know if you remember your first game in the big leagues. It was so many decades ago.
Right.
But Arismendi Alcantara, 4-hit day yesterday.
Well, it was great to see Alcantara. Great effort. I'll tell you what, the one thing that really did impress me was the pace at which he played yesterday. He looked like he'd been here before, almost as if nothing fazed him. Watching him run the bases, he's a glider, a nice swing, stayed inside the baseball yesterday, banged the ball down the left field line for a couple RBI double. Good things are coming for this kid. I'm really glad that he's going to get more than just a couple games up here, and we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, time now for our Comcast Business Edge, and we look at the Braves' outstanding outfielder first baseman, Jason Hayward. We all remember an opening day when he was a rookie, tormenting Carlos Zambrano with a long 3-run home run in a Braves blowout victory. Well, check out his numbers. In 13 games at Wrigley, 300 hitter, 4 homers, drove in 10, on-base percentage near 400, and an OPS well over 1,000. We'll see if Jake Arrieta can slow him down today. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business. Your thoughts on Jason Hayward?
Well, you know, he's still kind of figuring out his career right now. I mean, the Atlanta Braves believed in him enough to give him a 2-year deal this winter. They want to keep him around. They want him to prove himself, and that's just it. I think what you see is, in some aspects, untapped potential. You see the power, you see the speed, you see the great defense and the good arm, but he has yet to put it all together for an entire season. I think you've seen glimpses of what he can do, and they're really still waiting on him. Now he's in the middle of their lineup. They're asking him to be a run producer. We'll see what he can do, but I think they're still waiting a little bit.
All right, we got to take a time out here on our pregame show, brought to you by the fine folks at the Fields Auto Group. We'll come back. We still have Holly's Keys, our key performers, and there's Gale Sayers, a star-studded event right here at Wrigley. Be right back.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know.
There's a new beauty in town. The 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Lease an Outlander Sport now for $189 a month.
The $4 menu presents many options, yet grants us only one stomach.
Master? How does one decide between the original double and cheese or the fresh guacamole steak burger, the garlic double steak burger, or an all-beef Chicago-style football? How do you decide, Master? Pictures.
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Every night, get ready for the most dynamic show in Chicago. This is Sportsnet Central. Every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight.
If you've been injured in a car accident or any kind of serious accident, the law limits the time you have to file your claim. Your time may be running out. You need a lawyer who will get you the money you deserve. Call the Injury Helpline now and speak to a lawyer near you for free. One who gets paid only when you collect money. The insurance companies have lawyers working hard on their side, and so should you. Call 1-800-971-3222. That's 1-800-971-3222.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how, visit the partnership at drugfree.org.
Cabin Hall, coming July 21st.
All right, Cubs and Braves today. Our ATI injury report, Emilio Bonifacio remains on the 15-day DL, recovering from the oblique strain that he suffered, beginning a rehab assignment today with the Rookie League team in Mesa. Pair of relievers round out our list. Kyuji Fujikawa continuing his recovery of Tommy John surgery in Arizona. And James McDonald still on the shelf with shoulder inflammation. All right, today's pitching matchup, Wood and Arrieta. Jake Arrieta has been smoking hot.
Jake has been at his best. Now he's atop this rotation. Hopefully he can keep it going. He's pitched well at Wrigley. He's pitched well during the day. You know, the real key for him today is going to be keeping the Braves in the yard. They hit for power. They've got it in their lineup. They have trouble building innings. They've only scored 11 runs over their last 5 ball games. They've hit 130 with runners in scoring position. But if he makes mistakes out over the plate, they'll go long on him. So the challenge today is, again, going to be keeping the ball down, working the ball inside and out, and keeping these guys off balance.
All right, time now for Holly's keys to the game today. And when you look at these keys, it's very important for the Cubs to be patient at the plate.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. You know, eerily similar. That's what these two teams are. I think it's so interesting when you compare the two of them. You know, both hit for some power. Both the Cubs and the Braves do. Both have good pitching, good numbers. I know our rotation has changed here in the last week, But this is what the Braves do, so I really do believe it's going to be a challenge. Whoever can get out early and score some runs probably will win this ball game. Let's hope it's the Cubs today and they get something against Wood. Number 2, Woodshop. That's exactly what we're talking about. Alex Wood, he's got some deceptive mechanics. He's a tough lefty. So the guys, I'm hoping they're thinking middle today. Use the middle of the field. He's not going to blow him away. He doesn't overpower you. But again, he's very deceptive with some of his mechanics. So you're going to have to see his arm slot early and hopefully do some damage back through the box. And finally, road to recovery. Cubs have played well at home when they went out on the road. Things changed when they were out on the road. But let's not forget how well they were playing and how well they were playing here. Good game yesterday. Bring it home. Start swinging those bats again.
You know, this is an Atlanta team that, despite pitching injuries, have found a way to hang right in there in the race. How?
Well, it's a symptom. I mean, you know, I don't want to say it's a symptom. I mean, they feed off each other. I mean, I've seen Aaron Harang come on board and buy into what they're doing. They attack the strike zone. I mean, this is an organization that leads with the fastball. They believe in it. And anybody who comes in, no matter what the track record is, we kind of expect you to do it. Fastball's low and away, fastball low and in, mixing it up. But again, being very aggressive with it. At home, that's what it's the way they win. I talked to Freddie Freeman this week. He said, listen, our guys are aggressive on the mound. They throw strikes, and they lead with that fastball. That's how we win.
And they've also got some big bats in their lineup. A guy like Freddie Freeman or Jason Hayward. They got some thumpers.
Well, they're still trying to get things figured out so they can score some more runs, kind of like I talk about all the time around here. Other ways than the long ball. But you're right. They depend on it heavily. Freddie's their one guy. You got to circle him and be careful. But he'll put together a good at-bat, and he'll give you a good at-bat with runners in scoring position late, lefty or righty. But most of these guys, it's power first. So make your pitches. You should get some outs today.
All right, and before we hand it off, our key performers, you get to go first.
Oh, of course I'm going with Alcantara. I've got to go with the kid. Got to get him out there again.
All right, I'm going to take an all-star. I'll go Anthony Rizzo. All right, that is going to put a ribbon on this edition of the pregame show brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. Don't forget, no postgame show after the game today. White Sox baseball is coming up on Comcast Sportsnet immediately following the Cubs game, or shortly thereafter. We'll have a news program for you as well with the big news on LeBron James deciding to go back home to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. No word yet on a decision on Carmelo Anthony. Jake Arrieta getting ready to warm up and cut it loose. Cubs and Braves coming up next with Len and Jim. You have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a great weekend. See ya.
Welcome to the new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Glenview.
It's our summer clearance event, and it's time for you to make your move to this incredible facility.
It's the people at Fields. They act like a family.
They do whatever it takes to make my experience a good experience.
Our new home is designed to deliver a superior level of customer service.
Plus, every new vehicle has a special celebration price during our summer clearance event.
See Fields first, the all-new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
Introducing Domino's new specialty chicken. We bake our boneless white meat chicken with toppings, sauces, and cheese right on top. It's a little unexpected, but hey, that's what we do. Order 2 of our new specialty chicken or medium 2-topping pizzas for only $5.99 each.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This spring, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
This family may love their tree, but a colony of ants will use these branches on a roofline like the Autobahn.
But I know where they are, going from here to there. And one time of year to bait them with protein, one to bait with fat. I just shut down their freeway like a jackknife 18-wheeler. To catch a pest, you've got to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Real sports fans want to watch the game live, and nobody has more live sports than Xfinity. This is our sports app.
It'll show you every game that's playing live and every game that's scheduled to play.
It's got everything I need.
Live scores updated right now.
See these live games highlighted in white? Click on any of them and watch live.
Fourth quarter, it's all tied up. I want to see this triple overtime game.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is the ultimate experience right here.
Enjoy the most live sports like never before with an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
From the famous corner of Clark and Addison, Cub fans celebrating their All-Stars this year. Anthony Rizzo named to the team yesterday as the Cubs take on the Atlanta Braves. Just 3 games to go before the All-Star break. Great to be back home along with Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper, Anthony Rizzo, and Starlin Castro, along with Jeff Samardzija representing the Cubs in the All-Star game. More on that in a second. We've got to talk about the rookie, Arismendi Alcantara. 4 hits, a big part of the Cubs win yesterday.
Indeed, Alcantara, just 2 big league games, already made an impact. In his first game, he didn't have any hits, but he made a couple of very nice plays in the field. And yesterday, he lived up to the scouting report. He did a lot of really good things in the middle of everything. The sac fly to get things started. He shows opposite field power here. He's a switch hitter with pop and speed. Goes into the left field corner for an RBI double. Whacks one into the right field corner for a 3-base hit. Just a real intriguing, versatile player. 4 out of 5, double, triple, a 3 driven. And here's the speed on display as he beats out an infield hit for his 4th hit on the afternoon.
And he stays at least through the weekend. Kyle Hendricks sent out Darwin Barney back from the paternity list, and Alcantara will lead off for the Cubs today. So Anthony Rizzo got almost 9 million votes. He's going to join Starlin Castro in Minneapolis.
And 2 guys who certainly deserve to head to Minnesota for the All-Star game. Castro will be going for the 3rd time. He's already surpassed last year's totals in home runs and RBIs. One of 3 National Leaguers to play every game so far this year. And Anthony Rizzo among the elite first base men in all of baseball, having a big year, 20 home runs. He's driven in 49. Congratulations to Starlin and Anthony Rizzo.
And they will join Aroldis Chapman on the National League All-Star team. They'll take on one of the NL All-Star coaches, Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves, coming up next.
If the car was invented today, it would run on the most affordable energy source available. It would charge overnight. Every morning, you'd wake up with a full tank ready to go. If the car was invented today, it would be the 100% electric Nissan Leaf. With over 800 million gas-free miles driven. The question isn't why electric, it's why gas.
The 100% electric Nissan Leaf. Nissan, innovation that excites. Now get a 2015 Nissan Leaf for $249 a month.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
The Hopper says that it can do all these great things and record up to 6 shows at once, but it's doing these things that I don't want it to do or I don't need it to do. There's certain times of day, prime time I guess, is when half the DVR is reserved for recording all the primetime shows, even though we don't watch any of the network primetime shows generally. You would think it should just be allowed to watch what we want to watch, but instead Dish Network tells us what we want to record.
I'm Dr. Andy, the Kia man. At Evergreen Kia, we're always fighting high prices. Yeah! And other people's high payments. Kia! Whoa! Have no fear. Kia man is here, and I'll defend you from these guys, their high prices and their high payments, and all the other competition.
And you'll save hundreds on gas with our fuel-efficient Kias, like this new Kia Sportage, loaded with equipment and gets 28 miles per gallon. Only $18,895 or $174 a month.
Take good care of my Kia, and we'll take good care of you.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com.
Say congratulations to Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro.
Congratulations on making the All-Star team, Riz and Starlin.
I want to say congratulations and Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro to make the All-Star game.
Congratulations to Anthony and Starlin, and good luck in Minnesota. Happy to be both of your teammates, guys. Congratulations.
To Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro in the All-Star game, good luck, guys.
Starlin and Anthony, congratulations. You guys are a couple of real
All-Stars. Thank you, Cubs fan. I'm excited to play in the All-Star.
Good stuff. Starlin Castro, Anthony Rizzo getting their National League jerseys. Obviously, in the big game, they will wear the road gray Cubs jersey. I think that's what they'll wear during batting practice. And well-deserved. Cub fans really showed up in terms of that final man voting. Getting the Cubs first baseman in, along with the shortstop, and of course Jeff Samardzija cannot pitch, but also named to the team. So Braves and Cubs, right-hander Jake Arrieta, final start for him here in the first half. Leads the majors in ERA since he made his debut in early May. And you've got a Braves lineup, Southwest Braves starting lineup, not scoring many runs, only the Padres scoring fewer runs per game in the majors. Schaefer, Simmons, Freeman at the top. Freeman an all-star for the second straight year. Justin Upton finished third on the final man voting. Jason Hayward is in right. Chris Johnson at third, big series against the Cubs in May in a Braves sweep. Tommy La Stella, rookie second baseman. Christian Bethancourt, rookie catcher. And Alex Wood, the pitcher.
Cubs defense brought to you by Kia. Coughlin, Lake Luciano cover the outfield. Infield duties fall to Old Castro, Alcantara, Anthony Rizzo. Behind the plate is Wellington Castillo. And as Len mentioned, on the bump, the Lexus starting pitcher today, Jake Arrieta, and he has become quite the stallion. 5-1, 178 ERA, 12 starts. League hitting just .209 against him. Almost no slugging against Arrieta. 2 home runs, 1 from lefties, 1 from righties. Punch out rate, the best of his career. The walk rate, also the best of his career. Pick your poison if you're a Brave hitter. Mid-90s fastball, cut fastball slider thing that's been unbelievably good. Power hook and a changeup.
Sinker for a strike to get us started on Jordan Schaefer, getting his first start here in the month of July. Braves won last night in New York. They got here to Chicago about 2:30 this morning. Brian O'Nora will call balls and strikes. Pat Hoberg, Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, and Dan Bellino will handle the bases. Off the outside, 2 balls and a strike. Gorgeous day, a little overcast now all of a sudden, and the lights are on, but temps in the mid-70s. And a crosswind from right to left. Two and two. So a lot of the Braves players rode the late team bus, which is pretty rare. But I think the manager, Freddie Gonzalez, wanted everybody to sleep in a little bit after that late arrival. Sliders hit on the ground, and Rizzo can't make the play. Gets away from Arrieta. Will be an error on the Cubs first baseman.
Anthony usually very reliable down there at first base, and a pretty routine ground ball off the bat of Jordan Schaefer. He just clanked it. Now the Braves have a leadoff man on, a guy with speed. Really square up behind that one. Trusted his hands, and his hands let him down.
Schaefer 11 out of 11 in stolen base attempts. Talking with people who've been following this team all year, they say we're still trying to figure out what this Braves team is all about. They've pitched pretty well. They've had a lot of injuries in their starting rotation, but that has been a strength for the most part. Fill-in guys have done really well.
Yeah, well, ooh, man, quick feed by Arrieta, and Schaefer just able to get back in. Yeah, the interesting thing was with the Braves, with the injuries they suffered early, the concern was with the starting pitching. How are they going to plug these holes in their rotation? But that hasn't been a problem. The big issue has been run scoring.
3.6 per game. 29th in the majors. Leading only the Padres in that department. They haven't homered, or rather they've hit 1 homer since June 29th.
Team that finished 4th in the National League in runs scored last year and led the NL with 181 home runs.
There goes Schaefer, Here's the throw by Castillo. It's not in time. Schaefer 12 out of 12 on the year.
If you're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, you got to find other ways to score runs. The Braves feel pretty comfortable turning Schaefer loose. They've been efficient in the stolen base department. 77% success rate coming into play today. That's third best in the NL.
A couple of teams here who strike out a lot. A couple of pitching staffs who strike people out.
Simmons does not. He's kind of an old school number 2 hitter. You know, most of the sabermetrics and the data people now say maybe the 2-hole is where you want your best hitter based on lineup construction. Years ago, the thought with the 2-hole guy was you wanted a bat handler, a guy who could hit and run, hit behind a speedy leadoff guy, willing to take pitches, could get down a bunt. Simmons fits that profile.
Off to a good start here in July offensively. He's a terrific defender. Some people think he's the best defensive player regardless of position in all of the majors.
Yeah, he's really something. He led the league in runs saved last year, defensive runs saved. And we just saw a really good one in Cincinnati and Zach Cozart.
Grounds to Alt. Nice pick there by Mike, and he fires across for the first out with Schaefer having to hold at second.
Quick peek to make sure Schaefer doesn't have any intentions of getting to third base, and over to first to get Simmons.
Now Freddie Freeman.
And say Alt, after being a little shaky early on, has settled in nicely defensively at third base. Hasn't had a lot of playing time here in the last few weeks, but he's a good defender.
Freeman, an all-star for the second consecutive year. He won the final vote in the National League last year. Schaefer to third. He's out this time.
Well, we're going to check. Yeah, with Simmons unable to move him over, Schaefer takes matters into his own hands. A risky proposition with a left-handed hitter up. Castillo's got a clear throwing lane. Tag is on the shoulder, and Schaefer is out.
It was close, but they got him. And Freeman out of the batter's box as he looks into his dugout to give his manager some time, but Freddie hasn't moved. So no challenge. Freeman did not play last year in the All-Star game. He had an injured thumb. Not happy with that call. 0-2.
So the three first basemen that are going are Goldschmidt, Freeman, and Rizzo. Is that it?
Yeah, I'll have to double check.
I think that's it.
Not bad.
Young guys, right? They're all what? 24, 25? Be new in the league. Freeman's 24. Rizzo's 24. Goldschmidt can't be much more than that if he is.
Freeman held.
Goldschmidt is 26.
Arrieta's 1-2. Emergency hack that time just to stay in it. Braves pretty unfamiliar with Arrieta. He faced them back in 2011 as a member of the Orioles, but this is his first start against them since. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 to end the inning. So no hits. Schaefer reached on the air, stole second, then nabbed at third. A couple of Cubs all-stars hopefully will get a shot here in the first. Rizzo for sure, and hopefully the cleanup hitter, all-star Starlin Castro.
Menards Garden Center is your landscaping headquarters. Concrete blocks are great for any patio or garden. 16-inch patio blocks come in assorted patterns, $2.49 each. Creststone 2 retaining wall blocks come in 6 colors, 99 cents each. Decorative rock is great for sprucing up your yard. Right now, River Rock is only $1.89 a bag. All this and much more is on sale now at Menards Garden Center. The perfect place to start your next project.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Bob's new Honda Accord. The same car that'll pick his daughter up around the corner after her first date.
I'll be there soon, all right?
And come to her rescue when the love of her life breaks her heart. The car he'll use to show her parallel parking really isn't so hard. And the car that will be the best graduation gift ever. Start something special now with the Accord. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers.
Anybody else?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
If today's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. And that man is 22-year-old rookie Arizmendi Alcantara. The rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup behind Alcantara: Ruggiano, Rizzo, and Castro. Wellington Castillo will catch and hit fifth. Junior Lake is in center. Chris Coughlin red hot on this last road trip in left. Mike Holt will bat 8 with Arrieta the pitcher 9.
Key defense for the Braves. Upton, Schaefer, Hayward. Hayward, a tremendous defender out there. And right, we've already talked about Simmons, one of the best in the business. He's joined by Johnson, Lestelle, and Freeman on the infield. Betancourt, the backstop today, young guy with very good defensive credentials, and the Lexus starting pitcher for Atlanta's 23-year-old left-hander Alex Wood. Fastball, curveball, changeup, and a whole lot of funky.
Yeah, how about, I want you to break down this.
I just did. Funky.
Wind up funky. That's all you got for me.
He's well, let's look at the numbers first. 6 and 7 with a 3.14. 10 starts, 11 times out of the pen. They've been trying to protect his arm. He's a young guy.
Alcantara lifts in the air to left. That's Justin Upton out there to make the grab. So Alcantara stays with the team at least through the weekend. Roster moves today, and it's been a daily occurrence, it seems. Darwin Barney back from the paternity list. His wife Lindsay gave birth to their third child, daughter Devin, a couple of days ago, and they're scheduled to get out of the hospital today. So congrats to them. Kyle Hendricks and Blake Parker option to Iowa. Left-hander Zach Rosscup is back from AAA Iowa. 4th stint already this season. And the 1-0 to Ruggiano. He banged that one off Betancourt. That one stung. They're already without Evan Gattis, who's on the disabled list.
Just sneak up underneath the mask there, yeah.
Basically carrying 3 catchers right now. They've got Gerald Laird and Ryan Domit as well. I guess you don't want to play the Cubs right now. Seems like every day one of the Cubs opponents gets hurt.
Well, yeah, a lot of carnage in Cincinnati. Billy Hamilton went down. Brandon Phillips.
Homer Bailey. If you're wondering how that feels, just lightly tap your collarbone. It's all exposed bone right there. I mean, it's one thing off the shoulder.
It looks like they're playing with the jaw
chest
a little bit. Might have just got up under and hit him on the jawbone. You know, it reminds me of, I remember as a kid, there was a an article in Mad Magazine. And it shows the hockey goalie, right? And it shows all the pads and the way he's protected. And it said, and the object of the game is to hit him right here, and like the neck, the only exposed area on a hockey goalie's body. And here the catcher, he's all padded up, he's got all this protection, and still baseball manages to find a soft spot.
Yeah, so got him just above the chest, and it looked like it then deflected and hit the back of the jaw near the ear, which is very difficult to do, but found that sensitive area. So the goal is not to shoot the puck into the net.
No,
it's to hit the goalie in the neck.
Hit the goalie in the neck.
Nice.
The one area where he's not protected.
2-1. Change up that time, it is bounced foul. So Wood was in their rotation. Then he was in the bullpen. That's when we were in Atlanta in May. Then he went down to stretch out as a starter, and now he's back as a starter here in the big leagues. And he's been the victim of a lack of run support at times as well. He suffered back-to-back 1-0 losses in April, in which he went 8 innings both times. And 3 straight starts in which the Braves were shut out all 3 times.
And I think the plan all along was just to find a way to kind of save some bullets for the young left-hander.
Number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
Here's Rizzo. 2 outs, nobody on.
So the move to the bullpen obviously limited his innings that way, and then they sent him down to AAA to get him stretched out a little bit. Not a real hard throw. You see that fastball at 89. He's topped out at 93 this year, but will sit right around 90 to 92. Probably more effective than that because of the funky delivery. Real good changeup and a good curveball as well.
Fastball nearly hit him. It's 1-1.
Well, Anthony got whacked by a fastball from Homer Bailey in his first at bat yesterday.
Ground ball to Chris Johnson. And a couple of plays in the inning, and Alex Wood goes 1-2-3 scoreless after 1.
This summer,
Who's gonna stop me?
time is our enemy, and speed is our friend. You're up.
I'm on it.
Saving the world is what we do.
Now during the Ford Summer Spectacular sales event, get a Focus with 0 for 60 plus $1,500 bonus cash, or get $2,500 cash back.
Real sports fans want to watch the game live, and nobody has more live sports than Xfinity. This is our sports app.
It'll show you every game that's playing live and every game that's scheduled to play.
It's got everything I need.
Live scores updated right now.
See these live games highlighted in white? Click on any of them and watch live.
Fourth quarter, it's all tied up. I want to see this triple overtime game.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is the ultimate experience right here.
Enjoy the most live sports like never before with an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
You're going to see a lot of sales around town this summer, but there's only one sale that makes sense.
Installation just 1 cent.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Right now, get all Feldco windows, siding, and doors installed for just 1 cent. Plus, no money down and no interest for 1 year.
Hurry, this sensational sale ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
We are back. Just a brief 3-game homestand here because the All-Star break is coming up. But you know what? We're going to celebrate the entire 60s decade, even though we're only here for 3 days. Braves are here tomorrow and Sunday. 3:05 first pitch tomorrow, 1:20 on Sunday. Tickets throughout the ballpark are available, so come on out and enjoy a game here at beautiful Wrigley Field. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
And Gale Sayers, who starred with the Bears in the 60s here at Wrigley Field, threw out the first pitch today and will conduct the 7th inning stretch.
There you go.
He's getting into the spirit.
He's into it. Somebody got the memo?
Second inning, and it's cleanup man Justin Upton, two-time All-Star, missed the cut in the final vote this year. Statistically, if you look at his OPS, he's been pretty much the same guy in Atlanta he was in Arizona, and that ball hit hard. Lake with a nice running grab to get him. A line out to start the inning.
Yeah, not an easy play. We talk about this frequently for a center fielder. You don't really have a good angle on this ball, but a real nice read there by Junior.
We might see Alcantara in center at some point this weekend. He's playing second again today. Here's Jason Hayward, still wearing protection after suffering that nasty broken jaw last year when he was beamed in New York. In the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. Hayward was a Braves leadoff hitter the first 2.5 months. He's actually not been as good since moving down to the 5 spot, slugging under 300 as he hits one foul down the left field line. Mentioned this in Atlanta, JD. They've signed a lot of their guys to long-term deals.
Yeah, they've made a long commitment to any number of these guys. A lot of money.
Hayward got a 2-year extension. That was basically the shortest deal they signed.
Change up there, but he wouldn't bite. Hayward, a patient hitter. He'll take his walks. Yeah, they've locked up Freddie Freeman through 2021. A lot of money on the books for B.J. Upton going forward.
Simmons through 2020. Chris Johnson got a 3-year extension. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
That backdoor cutter for Arrieta. That's a pitch he's really been trying to tighten up. Not only backdoor to the lefties, but he likes to throw it to that same side against the right-handed hitters.
And he got him on the slider. Second strikeout for Jake Arrieta. 2 down.
This has been his best pitch. This power slider at 92 miles an hour. To get that kind of movement on a pitch that's thrown that hard. What a weapon.
Chris Johnson, 348 lifetime against the Cubs, including 351 here at Wrigley Field. That's the curve at 80.
Hey, he was 7 for 11 in the series against the Cubs back in May in Atlanta. A 3-game sweep by the Braves. They won 9 of the last 10 between these two clubs.
Slider, he got an awkward swing on that. 0-2. Late Friday afternoon, a lot of people getting out of work early, starting their weekend with Cubs baseball here at Wrigley Field. Man, what an array of pitches in that at bat. The curve, the slider, and then the fastball freezes Chris Johnson.
$737. $737. Right there, you guessed it. How do we save on operational costs? With the world's largest fleet of Boeing 737s. One of the many ways we bring you $69 airfares. Limited time sale fares starting as low as $69 one way. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Book now at southwest.com.
Hey man, how do I eat this extra long barbecue cheeseburger?
Dude, it's a burger. You just eat it. Oh, I see. Do you start from the short side or the long side?
I'll go long.
All right, I'll go short.
There's no wrong way to eat the new extra long barbecue cheeseburger, and now you can get any 2 sandwiches for just $5 only at Burger King.
Hi, everybody. It's Pat Hughes from Binny's Beverage Depot. What an amazing starting lineup. I'm looking out at over 6,000 wines, plus the all-star team at Binny's are the most knowledgeable and friendly in the business. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
So tell me about that AT&T Best Ever Family pricing thing.
It's 10 gigs of data to share with unlimited talk and text, and for a family of 4, that's $160 a month.
$160 a month? Sign us up.
Maybe we sign you up at the store after this.
Right, because this is the food court.
Yeah, it's the food court.
AT&T's Best Ever Family pricing. For instance, a family of 4 gets 10 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text for $160 a month.
Do you have a group looking for a great spot to enjoy sunshine, baseball, and all you can eat and drink at Wrigley Field this summer? The Budweiser Patio gives you the chance to do all this in prime home run territory. Bring your best guests inside the ballpark this season. For more info and to purchase, go to Cubs.com/suites. Here's Starlin Castro. Off to Minneapolis, 3rd time as an all-star. Only 24 years old. Wood with a first pitch strike. Cubs are 8-8 against left-handed starters. It doesn't look like a repeatable delivery, but it is.
Yeah, he manages to do it. You wouldn't teach anybody to pitch like this, but it works for him.
2nd round pick out of the University of Georgia in 2012. Alex Wood. Seeing the Cubs for the first time as a starter. Fourth career appearance. Got him on a curveball.
That's a great look right there. That starting point in that replay. Throws that glove up, and you see the spike curveball grip that he uses. You can see that raised knuckle on his index finger. If you're a hitter, you gotta. Don't look at all the funkiness. Just look for the release point.
Yeah, he'll show you the ball, but it's from behind his back. 1 strike on Castillo. Curve is low.
Of his secondary pitches, the changeup is probably the better pitch. It's a guy like this who moves the fastball to both sides of the plate, has pretty good action on his 2-seamer. He's trying to stay through the middle of the diamond.
That's the end of the bat, which is going to keep the ball in the yard. It's caught by Schaefer. So 2 away, and here comes Junior Lake. 1 for his last 28, but the 1 hit was off Aroldis Chapman. Swinging strike 1. This is the only matinee. Everything else later tonight around Major League Baseball. Braves basically tied with the Nationals atop the NL East. They had a 9-game winning streak. They followed that up by dropping 4 of 5. They have spent 74 days in first place already this year.
Yeah, they've never been further back than 2 in the standings. And their biggest lead, 3.5 games, that came towards the end of April. They got off to a great start, 17-9 in the month of April.
Schaefer coming in, he's got it, and Alex Wood cruising along early, as has Jake Arrieta.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another, like the all-new GMC Sierra, with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting, a quiet cabin no competitor can beat, and 2 years of scheduled maintenance. And now, the GMC Independence Day event has been extended through this Monday. This is your chance to get over $8,100 total value on this specially equipped GMC Sierra SLE. But hurry, the GMC Independence Day offer ends Monday.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Canelo Alvarez is on a mission. Defeat anyone, anywhere, anytime. On July 12th, his quest brings him face to face with the most dangerous man in the division in a showdown for honor and glory.
And they are exchanging leather in the center of the ring.
Canelo Alvarez, Erislandy Lara. Honor and glory. Canelo versus Lara. Contact your pay-per-view provider to order.
Sunday, catch the Cubs before the All-Star break. Coverage will kick off at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. It's presented by Fields Auto Group. Travis Wood, an All-Star last year, will go for the Cubs against a 2014 All-Star, Julio Teheran. 12:30 on Sunday here on CSN. Braves batting in the third inning. Our first look at Tommy La Stella, rookie second baseman. 41st game in the big leagues, came up in late May, and basically has been their everyday guy since. Dan Ugla struggled to start the year. They've used Tyler Pastornicki. Swing and a miss. Ramiro Pena has gotten a few starts, but right now they're going with the youngster La Stella, and he's got a 7-game hitting streak.
Yeah, red hot when he first came up, and then he went into a pretty good funk and has turned things around. Walks as much as he strikes out, doesn't hit for power, but good line drive hitter. Stays in the at-bat.
Got a tweet from Israel Barrera. Says, why don't we see Jake Arrieta's stats show up on the major league leaderboards? And the reason is he doesn't have enough innings to qualify. Remember, he missed the first month with shoulder tightness. But since he has returned, he leads the majors in earned run average, even better than Clayton Kershaw. Coughlin makes a catch as he bangs up against the sidewall. There is some padding there, but not a ton of give. And nicely done.
Yeah, once you cross that foul line, you know you only have a couple of strides before you're up against the wall. Great concentration. Playing a solid left field and really swinging it well. Had a heck of a road trip.
Christian Bethancourt, just his 11th major league game, and he slices one to right, and it's going to land foul. Bethancourt came into the year as the Braves' #3 overall prospect, according to Baseball America. Actually was named to the Futures game for the 3rd consecutive year. But he'll be here instead of Minneapolis on Sunday.
Be a Futures game Hall of Famer. To qualify, you have to have an inning pitch for every team, for every game your team has played. This is game number 92 for the Cubs. Arrieta has thrown 70 and 2/3 innings, had thrown 70 and 2/3 prior to today's start.
And so if he stays healthy, he will catch up and be eligible in maybe 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. Pitch has so much movement on it. Just completely changes lanes.
Well, when he overcooks a little bit, it's still fun to watch, like a wiffle ball. There's that front door slider I was talking about. It's the one he's been trying to implement more frequently to the right-handed hitters.
Stabbed there by Arrieta. So underhand to Rizzo. 2 outs. Good glove work here in this inning.
Yeah. Coughlin, nice play in the left. Arrieta, well positioned to field that comebacker.
So Alex Wood 0 for 16 with 10 strikeouts in his career. 0 for 37 with 25 strikeouts. I'm not a gambling man. I don't think I'd ever bet the mortgage on anything, but
feel pretty good about a strikeout coming here. Getting the red. I'm getting the red pen ready.
Baseball's funky. There you go. Should have bet the mortgage. 4th strikeout for Arrieta, first time through the order. Neither team with a hit after 2.5.
If the car was invented today, it would run on the most affordable energy source available. It would charge overnight. Every morning, you'd wake up with a full tank ready to go. If the car was invented today, it would be the 100% electric Nissan Leaf. With over 800 million gas-free miles driven. The question isn't why electric, it's why gas.
The 100% electric Nissan Leaf. Nissan, innovation that excites. Now get a 2015 Nissan Leaf for $249 a month.
Refresh your summer with a special edition can, only from Coors Light.
I can't believe how much money we saved on our floors at
Luna. I shopped around, so I know we got the best deal.
Right now at Luna, get an incredible 70% off.
773-202. Luna.
Dedicated bankers born to go the extra mile.
You've been such a big help.
That's what I like to do.
So you can choose a bank where helping people comes first. Chase, so you can.
The web is full of opinions and sources.
When it comes to the Cubs, you can bet your bleacher seats CSNChicago.com is bringing you the facts. From Cubs fans, for Cubs fans. The Cubs page on CSNChicago.com.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Bottom of the third we go, still scoreless, and Anthony Rizzo headed to his first All-Star game, as we've been saying. And this morning he was just beaming in front of the reporters as we all gathered to, of course, congratulate him. And he said he had to thank his family, his friends, the entire city of Chicago. So thankful for the 8.8 million votes it took to get him going to Minneapolis. But he also laughed, saying, you know, I made a strong push towards the end, of course, of the voting. 3 home runs in 3 days, and then on the last day, which would have been yesterday in Cincinnati, he said, I hadn't hit a home run, so, you know, I had to spark the vote somehow. Why not a little rumble with Chapman? He thought that might be a good idea. Of course, completely joking, just going to the defense of his teammates. But guys, it worked, and he's headed along with Starlin Castro to the Midsummer Classic later this week.
Thanks, Kelly. I look forward to the conversation between Rizzo and Chapman. They will be teammates.
Yeah, well, they've already, you know, in their remarks after the game yesterday, they've already kind of calmed things down. But everybody involved saying, it was just, you know, heated battle. Competitive guys getting emotional. We talked about it during the game yesterday. I don't think there was any intent on any of the pitches that were thrown. Rizzo got hit to start the ball game, his first at bat. Zach Kozart got hit by Kyle Hendricks later in the game. I don't think there was any intent. And then when Chapman started throwing those fastballs over Sherholtz's head, I don't think there's any intention there, but clearly understand why the Cubs hitters are upset.
Chris Coghlan powders one out into deep right center, and it's going to be off the wall for the first hit of the ball game. He stays hot in there even against the lefty today, and that's a leadoff double from the 7 spot.
He's turning the clock back to his rookie year in 2009 when he was the Rookie of the Year in the National League.
He thought that was out.
He did. He dropped his head, went into home run mode. On another day, perhaps he'll have to settle for 2 here. .375 he batted on the road trip. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, so a lot of slugging. He brought it home with him.
Mike Alt.
So anyway, to finish the point on yesterday's drama, understandable that the Cub hitters would react the way they did when the guy's throwing 100 miles an hour and it's close to somebody's head, whether it's intentional or not. That gets your attention in the other dugout. That's why they're all worked up.
Coghlan takes off for third. And no throw. He stole that one on the pitcher. Number 4 on the year.
I don't believe he went into the stretch. No, he did. Never looked. And sometimes no look can be an effective way to hold a base runner because they're anticipating the look back. But that time Coghlan read it right and got third base easily.
The Braves infield is in, and it's 1-2 on Alt. Nobody out. We're in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that's, well, 2 reasons. One, they've had a really hard time scoring runs, so they're going to do everything they can to protect this 1 run from scoring. And 2, Jake Arrieta has been the best pitcher on the planet for the last month and change. Well, he and Kershaw.
Well, Kershaw gave up a run last night.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he's scuffling.
And then in his scoreless streak at 41 innings. Still won the game 2-1.
Went the distance, punched out 11. The Chase Headley home run.
Speaking of chasing, Alt not doing that here on the last 2 pitches in the dirt.
Pitch not deep enough to get him to chase out in front early. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come right back with that changeup.
It's a curve instead. Taken for ball 4. That'll bring up the pitcher, Arrieta.
That's a chase pitch. A lot of guys are going to offer it that one. Mike Alt, who has swung and missed a bunch this year, able to lay off and himself on first base. Sacrifice situation here for Arrieta with nobody out in 1st and 3rd.
Johnson ready to charge from third. Arrieta not showing bunt.
Ooh, that's close to a balk move. He steps more towards home than he does towards first base. That's a balk. Boy, that would be huge with a man on third. That'd be a cheap run. It's been tough to run on. He's got a good move, but he's flirting with it a little bit there.
There's the bunt. Coughlin on his way to the plate. Arrieta will get an RBI on the sac bunt. It's 1-0.
That's the way to do it. Watch Coughlin coming down the line. He reads it, sees the ball down. Off he goes. Freeman takes a look, realizes he has no shot. Takes the out at first. Perfectly executed safety squeeze.
2 for 1 too, because he got ult to second. You can call me Al. I was wondering what Gary Pressey might play for Arismendi Alcantara on his Wrigley Field debut. He flied to left to lead off the home half of the first, and he looks at a strike. Main leadoff guy this year, Emilio Bonifacio, but he's on the DL. Cubs have used Coughlin, Lake, Balbuena, Ryan Kalish, Ryan Sweeney at various times this year. Now Alcantara today. It's second the last 2 days in Cincinnati.
Talking with Ricky Renteria about him, he said Alcantara down in AAA was hitting for power from both sides of the plate.
Fastball on the inside corner. It's 1-2. Double walk, sac bunt to start the inning. 7, 8, 9. All with quality plate appearances. 2-2.
At AAA, Arismendi batting .374 from this side of the plate. .418 on base, .667 slugging, an OPS of 1,085. 10 home runs total, 4 from this side, 6 as a left-handed batter.
He's basically been a level per year guy since debuting in 2009. He's not had any midseason changes until this year. AAA 89 games, and now at least a small taste of the big leagues.
Grande leaguer. Hitting better than 400 his last 10 games at AAA. So called up not only a talented kid, but one that was swinging a hot bat.
Chased one in the dirt that time. Bethencourt will throw him out. Second strikeout for Wood. Here's Ruggiano with 2 outs. He grounded out to third his first time up. It's not always a straight line for minor league players. In fact, it rarely is. Looking at Alcantara, Dominican Summer League in 09 after he signed. He was 17. Following year, short season Northwest League with Boise. Year after that, Midwest League, Peoria. 2012, Daytona, Florida State League, then Tennessee. Last year, Iowa this year. Very steady climb through the system.
And certainly for the kids that sign young out of high school or Latin America at the age of 16, 17 years of age, typically it's going to take them 2-3 years at least in the lower minor leagues. They kind of polish things up a little bit. College kids, advanced college players come much more quickly. And you see that with Chris Bryant.
It's not always the case, but the age of the player does matter, because you're right. If you're 16, 17, 18, you sign young, you can do that steady climb and still be he's 23, 24 at the oldest when you make your debut.
He's still young for AAA.
Foul tip. Pitch that was up a little bit. 2-2 on Ruggiano. Low and inside. Left-hander for the Braves. Tomorrow afternoon, Mike Minor, Edwin Jackson will go for the Cubs. His final start of the first half. Three-2 hit on the ground. Simmons won't get to it. Alt will come around third to score. Justin Ruggiano makes it 2-0.
And nice to see the patience of Mike Holt, who worked the walk, pay off as he scores on the RBI single by Justin Ruggiano. Fast ball, outer third, but up. Holds over a little bit, but still gets enough of it to get it past Simmons.
Get it past Simmons. It's something.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to say. I just assumed he was going to get to it because he gets to everything.
A little surprised he didn't leave his feet, but I guess he just determined that he wasn't going to be able to get that ball.
Rizzo swings at the first pitch. Towering fly to center. Schaefer's got it. The Cubs use 2 hits, a stolen base, a sacked bunt, and it's 2-0 after 3.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Moments.
We got a few changes from last year. It's the second time this week, Dan. I'm doing the best I can, Pete.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Loaded with technology, filled with excitement. For special offers on the Dodge you want to drive, check out Dodge.com or get to your local Dodge dealer today.
4, 3, 2, 1. Wow!
Unbelievable!
Thursday night, July 17th at 8, sports and slime will collide. In a brand new Kids' Choice where athletes are taking home the awards. It's the first ever Kids' Choice Sports. Get pumped for the biggest night in sports for kids. All hosted by Michael Strahan.
It is too big to miss.
Kids' Choice Sports. Thursday night, July 17th at 8. Only on Nickelodeon.
You're going to see a lot of sales around town this summer, but there's only one sale that makes sense.
Installation just 1 cent.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Right now, get all Feldco windows, siding, and doors installed for just 1 cent. Plus, no money down and no interest for 1 year.
Hurry, this sensational sale ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Your local new car dealer does more than just sell cars. On Saturday, July 19th, come on out for our USO Barbecue for the Truth at a local new car dealer near you and support the USO of Illinois. To find a location, log on to drivechicago.com.
Time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear later on in today's broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Cubs snapped a season-long 6-game losing streak yesterday at Cincinnati to wrap up a 5-6 trip. Back home for 3 leading into the break and leading 2-0. Ball one on Schaefer. Making just his 11th start this year. Oh, slider.
Could have been
pretty good. Didn't get it.
Just a wee bit low, possibly. Schaefer, good bunter. Have to respect that. Corners pinch in. There's that power slider. Very good.
Late movement cost him a called strike. Sinker this time. And again, more.
What a contrast between the starting pitchers. You know, you get the power right-hander in Arrieta, who has about as simple a delivery as you could find. Not a whole lot going on there. Step and throw. And then Wood, the more finesse lefty with all kinds of funkiness going on in his delivery. Just, I guess, evidence proof that you can have success many different ways.
Ball 4, a leadoff walk. Second time Schaefer's been on. He's the only Brave to reach.
Successfully stole second and then was caught trying to steal third in that first inning. Schaefer, not the speed of Billy Hamilton, who we just saw in Cincinnati. There's nobody faster than Billy Hamilton in the game, at least as far as I know. Certainly not what I've seen. But the same thing applies here. You know, Schaefer's that guy who said, well, don't walk him. He's a speed guy. He's not going to hit the ball over the wall very often. Sometimes just that negative thought creeps in, and that's the guy you end up walking. Should be a good hit and run tandem. Simmons has a lot of room on the right side of the infield to work with. Alcantara really shading towards the middle of the diamond.
Big lead by Schaefer. And Arrieta just kind of waiting him out.
Nice job there. He held the ball for a long time, so long that Simmons asked for time, and then when they restart, he unloads quickly there, just working hard, trying to upset the rhythm of Schaefer over at first base. That's always the challenge. You're trying to upset his rhythm without upsetting your own.
He runs this time, and Castillo just couldn't get a good grip. So Schaefer's 2 out of 3 already today.
And they caught him at third. It's the first time this year he had been caught. Castillo in his haste never does get the handle.
Driven to right. Ruggiano will have to chase it down. It's a fair ball. Schaefer to third. He's got to stay there. He was basically standing on second when that ball landed. He had to make sure it wasn't caught. I think he was tagging.
I guess.
I think that's exactly what he was doing. So nobody out in the middle of the order coming up. That's their first hit.
Is this a catchable ball? I mean, if you're on second base and you see this, do you think you have to tag? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he went back.
This is right down the line. He's got a good look at it. Boy, late to react.
Maybe he just didn't see it. At any rate, here's Freeman. Cubs leading by 2, but the Braves threatening big time.
Yeah, and I really think Schaefer's presence really upset Arrieta in that whole sequence. The quality of his pitches to Simmons just not what we'd seen up until this point.
The kick, the 1-0, and a ground ball to second will get not only the run home, but it'll move Simmons to third as well. So that's the 2-for-1. And the throw to third. Simmons back. Now 2-1.
#51 RBI of the year for Freddie Freeman. Now the Cubs will pull their infield in.
Curve for a strike. Gotta like the Braves side of the deal they made with the Diamondbacks at this point, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Upton and Johnson. Randall Delgado, Martin Prado, Zeke Spruill, Nick Ahmed, Brandon Drury. Throw's going to go to first. Little bobble by Arrieta. I don't know if he would have had a shot at Simmons. They would have had to tag him at the plate. So it's 2-2.
No, I think by the time he spins around and throws that ball home, Simmons is going to score. You'll get a good look at it here. I mean,
no way.
Yeah,
no way. Just like that, back to even. A couple of RBI groundouts for the Braves here in the fourth. Two balls, no strikes to Hayward. But 2 runs given up by Arrieta seems like a lot.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
He's been so good this year.
Guy gives up 2 and you're like, man, what's wrong with him?
He has not allowed more than 2 since May 27th. They get only 1 hit, but they tie it up with a pair of runs. 2-2.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Striker, you're too low.
I know, but Wisconsin is so beautiful in the summer and so much to do. Over.
Roger.
What? Boating, fishing, biking.
Huh?
I wish I was down there.
Roger.
My name is Kareem. Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. Hey, don't call me. What am I saying?
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit flying.
I can't believe I ever left this place.
Wow. Welcome home.
We've been conditioned to accept less and less in the name of style and sophistication. But to us, less isn't more. More is more. Abundant space, available leading-edge technology, impeccable design, and more than you've come to expect from a luxury vehicle. The Lexus ES350 and EPA-estimated 40 mpg ES Hybrid. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
On military recognition today, Kimberly McGraw served for almost 3 years in the Navy, quartermaster on USS Harper's Ferry and USS Germantown, served in Japan, worked with orphanages and helping educate children, currently serves in a mission, continues 1st Chicago Service Platoon as their leader. Great to have her here today. 2-2 our score as the Cubs bat in the 4th. Let's send it down to Kelly once again.
Thanks a lot, Lynn. Yeah, Starlin Castro getting things off, of course, headed to his 3rd All-Star game. And when I asked him this morning how rewarding it was that he and his first baseman, Anthony Rizzo, would be going together, he said, you know what? This is how it's supposed to be. These are the kinds of seasons the two of us are supposed to be putting together, both very productive so far. And he said, we're the type of guys that our teammates should be looking to and leaning on for consistency. So pretty big words from two 24-year-olds, guys.
And Cubs are really happy about the fact that these two guys are representing them in the All-Star game.
That was a big part of the story of this year, right? Getting these guys back on track. All the youngsters coming up through the system.
He sends one out into deep right center. Hayward and Schaefer, and it's going to be the center fielder. That was an interesting exchange there. Hayward had his arm up saying, I'm taking it, I'm taking it. Schaefer said, no, that's mine.
Center fielder's the quarterback. He takes priority. Be the guy in position to make the play. And always a challenge in a crowded ballpark to hear. And that's when you got to really, if you're going to call it, you got to be screaming. Hayward yields. Schaefer makes the play.
Castillo, who flied to center in the 2nd inning. Strike 2. Fastball a little off the outside corner. The pitch. 1-2-2. Interesting. I could see the right index finger kind of sticking up in the glove before Wood made that delivery, which kind of gave away the spiked curve.
Should have yelled down to Welly. Curveball.
Yeah, we're going to look at it from center field.
Cheating.
Swing and a miss on a fastball for strike 3.
Wood, one of those guys with a fastball, sometimes serves as the change of pace. Change up, curveball, change up, go soft, 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 and then slips 90 miles an hour by him. A lot of work at the bottom of the zone. This one has some cutting action. He gets a swing and miss from Castillo, who's now just 4 out of his last 28. If you're looking for keys for the Cubs in the 2nd half, Wellington Castillo would be one guy you'd want to see marked improvement from.
Freeman with a good effort. He got a glove on it. It was foul. So it's a no play.
Heck of a try. Very difficult play, running straight down the line, looking back up over your shoulder. Estella, the second baseman's playing Lake to pull, so he had a long way to run. Normally the second baseman would be your best option on a ball like that. Lake in a similar situation last time up showed bunt with 1 strike. There was 2 outs in the inning. Chris Johnson prior to the pitch had backed up. This time he stayed even with 1 strike. Now he peels back. Two out, nobody on bunt is really not a good play, especially with a left-handed pitcher on the mound because he's tough to steal against. But the funk that Junior Lake is in, you kind of understand it. Trying to do anything he can to get on base. Normally you want a guy like Lake who does have power looking for extra bases with 2 outs.
Lake went around for strike 3. 4th punch out, 2nd in a row for Wood. After 4, we're deadlocked at 2.
$737. $737. Right there, you guessed it. How do we save on operational costs? With the world's largest fleet of Boeing 737s. One of the many ways we bring you $69 airfares. Limited time sale fares starting as low as $69 one way. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Book now at southwest.com.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
So we called Dish Network to find out exactly what we could record and what we couldn't record with the Hopper. We thought that you could record 6 shows all at the same time. Then after the call, it seems like you can only record 2 shows during prime time. And the 4 other shows are what Dish Network tells you can watch, which is what's on the networks. So I am still very confused about what you can and what you can't do with Dish Network.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary.
Oh, no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends, too.
Get out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook. Book your next special memory at the Champagne Lodge today. You know you deserve it.
Cabin Hall, coming July 21st.
Top of the 5th, JD mentioned the funky lefty Alex Wood. I thought it would be fun just to see if Alex Wood were a right-hander, what would he look like? No right-hander throws like that.
He'd be a funky right-hander.
He would have been, yeah. It reminds me of the Ted Lilly story. He once watched John Smoltz in the mirror in his hotel just to see what Smoltz would look like as a lefty. That was Ted. He was very left-handed. It is Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, brought to you by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. What a day yesterday for the Chicago Cubs. They snap a 6-game skid. They find out Rizzo made the All-Star team. They almost had a brawl, and Alcantara had 4 hits. That was it, and the renovations.
Yeah, just another typical Cubs news cycle, I'd say. I mean, you know, we talk about all the guys that are leaving, but when you bring in, you know, some young players that can bring some energy, you can kind of see it go the other way too. And I was glad you were correcting us on Twitter in terms of the proper pronunciation for Alcantara.
Alcantara, yes. Still have people tell us we're saying it wrong, but that's how he says it. 1-1 on Chris Johnson. Saw Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts on the field before the game. He did meet with the media today regarding yesterday's big day in terms of the ballpark and the renovations, which Cubs say are moving forward.
Yeah, there's always been a lot of steps along the way in this process, but I think Tom was out there for a reason today. He obviously doesn't seek the media spotlight, but I think after a day like yesterday, they feel like they're pretty close to putting the green light on it. There's not a groundbreaking date yet. We're less than 24 hours after the hearing, but he said they'll keep, you know, lines of communication open with the rooftops, but it sounds like they're you're kind of finally ready to get this thing moving here, and that would obviously be a huge thing for everyone involved in the organization.
The 2-2. Johnson sends one in the air to center, and it's Junior Lake to make the catch. More importantly, what do you think of JD's green shirt?
Stepping out a little bit today.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was like a halfway to St. Patrick's Day or something.
Good enough. I thought about that. No, there's no real rationale behind it other than the fact that they give us these shirts, and I feel obligated to wear the green one at least once a year. Today was the day.
If you were a weather guy, we would only see your face and your arms.
Yeah.
Here's Tommy LaStella. So Alcantara supposed to be here for 2 days, but with the All-Star break coming, the Cubs don't need extra starting pitchers this weekend. He stays for at least this weekend, and then the break happens, and then we'll see. But this roster continues to change, Patrick, on almost a daily basis.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the clubhouse earlier today, about just kind of the idea of come and get it, and if you kind of show, if you perform here, that make the decision hard on the front office. And it's kind of like in spring training, if you want a job, go out and earn it. Michael did it in March, and right here, if you're trading away guys like Jeff Samardzija, and that obviously leaves a huge hole in the clubhouse, and there's a little bit of emotional letdown there. If you can bring in a guy making his big league debut, almost hitting for the cycle, I think you got to give him a chance. And he's checked almost all the boxes at AAA Iowa anyway. It's not, he earned this opportunity, and I think the Cubs, one or the other, are going to see what they have in the second half here.
Yeah, I think the decision that's going to have to be made at some point is Junior Lake. The way he's struggling, when we talked to Ricky about it earlier in the year when he was struggling, and he said, one of the things you look for is just how the kid reacts to the struggles, and you see a lot of frustration out of Junior now. And I'm starting to think, not starting to think, I've been thinking this for a good long while now, that he might be better served down in AAA.
He will make the catch to end the inning. Patrick, appreciate your time. Get all of his analysis on the CSN Chicago.com. 2-2 from Wrigley.
This is Paul's new Honda Civic. The same car that will take him and a very pretty girl on the best first date ever. With the Pandora that will set the mood on their 1-year anniversary. And the Bluetooth that will remind him she's a keeper and don't mess this up. And the glove compartment that will hold everything he needs, including one very small box. Start something special now with the Civic. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Picking up pieces of my life, sometimes there's ones I just can't find, but they found a home with you. And when I think about the things that we've been through, I know just one thing is true. Life is better with you. Whoa, whoa. Life is better with you.
Yeah. As we see the polar vortexes returning, there you have it. Making the magic happen.
Yeah, it's warm down here in Texas. It's smoking right there in my belly button. It's about 72. 72 and fuzzy.
Oh, I love it. 2-2. As the Cubs will bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Don't miss Loop Fest 2014. Kind of felt like we just did that. Featuring Journey and Steve Miller Band with special guest Tower of Power Saturday night at First Midwest Bank Amphitheater in Tinley Park. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was there not some connection between Tower of Power and Balco? Wasn't that guy, I can't think of his name now, the guy
Conti?
Balco? Yeah, I think, wasn't he?
Victor Conti?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was yes, he was in Tower of Power.
Yeah. All right. That's all.
Yeah. You're right. Played bass and common ground with his cousin Bruce. Tower of Power. Yeah, good call.
Ironic, isn't it? Tower of Power was the name of the band.
Right.
The guy in the PED investigation.
Two 2-0 on Chris Coughlin. Doubled to start the third and later scored on a sac bunt by Jake Arrieta.
And he's in one of those grooves. You see a hitter when he's seeing the ball well. Doesn't leave the batter's box till it's time.
And leadoff walk. Here's Holt.
Well, there's been 3 walks total in this ball game. The 2 previous walks came around to score. Holt walked and scored in the third. Schaefer led off the fourth with a walk, came around to score. See if the patience shown by Holt in his last at bat earns him something to swing at here. Got something, didn't like it. Coming into the start, Alex Wood had thrown strike 1 better than 65% of the time. It's, if he had enough innings to qualify, that would place him among the top 10 for sure in baseball. So the whole key, if you're going to be that guy and you don't throw really hard, you got to be able to throw strike 1 with a variety of pitches. You just can't pump fastballs over the heart of the plate at 88 and expect to get away with it. So he's able to throw his changeup in there. First pitch curveball can be a good weapon for him.
The check on Coughlin.
And this is where, as a base runner, you really want to make sure you stay focused, and because he's got a guy in Mike Holt that swings and misses a lot. Guy with good breaking stuff on the mound. He might be, trying to bounce a changeup or a curveball. He hung it.
Got away with it. Freeman makes the grab.
Yep. But as a base runner, you're always anticipating that ball in the dirt, looking to break. But we see guys time and time again get caught, kind of working their way back to the bag as the catcher retrieves the ball. But in those situations, strikeout situations, a guy like Wood, you've got to look for that breaking ball or change up in the dirt, anticipate it, and be ready to take that extra base.
Arrieta looks at ball 1. Well, the Brewers got swept in a 4-game series by the Phillies. The first place Milwaukee Brewers opened the door. A bunch of teams in this division.
Yeah, their lead is now 2 games over the Cardinals, 2.5 over the Reds.
Cardinals are in Milwaukee tonight. Kelly and Gallardo.
These clubs immediately behind the Brewers have problems of their own. Injuries primarily. Yadier Molina down.
So Matt Garza takes a no-hitter into the 7th and they give up 9.
Yeah, how about that?
That's strange.
How many of those were on him?
I don't know. I think
did he lose that? Did he take the loss in that game?
I will tell you in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, Cardinals and Reds. dealing with some pretty big injuries. So Arrieta gets another one down.
You got a guy that can run a little bit at first base. That's the ideal bunt right there. You don't have to try to finesse that bunt. You don't have to push it one way or the other. Just get it out away from the catcher. Get it out there on the grass, and you're going to get the job done.
The answer is Garza did take the loss. 7 2/3, 2 runs.
That's a hang with him there, boy.
Yeah. Brandon Phillips having surgery today. Expected to miss 6 weeks. Torn ligaments in his left thumb. Remember that diving play. His left hand kind of got caught and buckled. Alcantara with a man at second, 2 outs and a 2-2 tie. He was involved in all the Cubs scoring yesterday. So Molina and Phillips with thumb injuries. We mentioned Kershaw gave up his first run in 41 innings, and Masahiro Tanaka is not going to have surgery yet. Going to try to rehab the elbow, and if that doesn't work, Tommy John surgery is a possibility. Partially torn UCL in that pitching elbow. I guess he released a statement today. I haven't seen it, but he apologized to everybody.
For getting hurt?
Yep. Three and 0.
Brewers have been in first place since April 9th.
Here's a quote. I give everything I have every time I take the ball. I also know there will always be the risk of injury when playing this game I love. I apologize to the Yankees, my teammates, and our fans for not being able to help during this time.
You don't need to apologize. Masahiro, you got hurt. It's not like you got mad and punched a wall and broke your hand.
It's similar to Matt Harvey, right? Last year they thought they might be able to avoid surgery, but eventually he had elbow reconstruction. I think the thought is, if you're going to miss next year anyway, might as well wait. Maybe you can come back earlier and not have to go under the knife.
Yeah, and I think the circumstances of the two teams involved helped drive that decision too. I don't think the Mets felt like they were going to win anything last year, and the Yankees feel like they have a chance to win the East.
Ball 4, second walk of the inning.
Walks have not been a problem for Wood this year, but that's 3 already here as he works in the 5th.
See, Derek Jeter got a Gibson Les Paul electric guitar from the Indians.
I did, yeah.
It was going away presents. That's pretty cool. White guitar with